Hey guys, Yishan here, coming at you guys with some Golden Castle Gren Maju gameplay. I know a lot of people have been requesting this, so here it is. I actually did a deck profile on this exact deck that I used in this local club tournament. My school held a tournament, actually an alumni of the school. It was still fun to play in their dueling book tournament, and it was a small tournament. We only had 3 rounds, but I did manage to win every round, and I was able to get first place. So I wanted to bring you guys some of this gameplay. Now, the mat you're looking at and staring at right now, if you don't already know, is a mat that I am giving away currently for my 500 subscriber special video. Now, if you don't know about that, I would recommend you go check that out, especially if you're a Gren Maju fan. This is the image you're staring at right now is the mat. And all you have to do is like, comment, subscribe on that video. And of course, you will be entered to win the mat. So without further ado, if you guys enjoy my content, please consider subscribing. But let's get right into the gameplay. Alright, so for our first game, we lose the rock, paper, scissors. We're up against Hero. Luckily, my opponent decided to go first, so we're lucky on that front. We have a pretty good Hero matchup with deck. We got Nibiru, Dimension Shifter, Super Poly, and Phantasma, but we see none of those. And my opponent opens with Stratos and grabs a Ferris, and the Ferris is going to pitch a Malicious, I believe here. Yeah, so I know he's going to combo pretty hard. Grabs an Increase. Increase Tribute Ferris to summon Vion. Vion dumps Shadow Mist. Shadow Mist is going to search a Liquid Soldier. Alright, so no Super Poly, no Nibiru in sight. This is not looking so great. He banishes a fusion or a hero monster to search a Poly with Vision Hero Vion. And he skips a step here. He summons Cross Crusader and should summon Mali to tribute it to add that adjusted gold, but he doesn't. So he fuses 2 with Poly to summon Sunrise. Sunrise is going to search a Miracle Fusion. Liquid Soldier triggers. He draws 2, discard 1. Summons a Mali and then tributes 3 heroes for a Plasma. Sets 1. Activates Fusion Destiny. Pretty strong board here. We have Negate All Monsters and a Pop. Summons that in defense. Dark Calling for the Malicious Bane. So I'm like, man, I'm in trouble. I search a Golden Castle of Stromberg here, and now I'm just hoping basically I top deck a Super Poly or anything that can help at this point. But we'll see what we get here, or else we might be in a bit of trouble. We do find the Super Poly, lucky us. Boom, hit the 2 interruptions, summon the Dragostapelia, pop the Mass Change, normal this, summon the Eater. Now this is important to know, this is actually not a guaranteed win because Dragostapelia can't negate the battle protection or card effect protection of Malicious Bane, so I actually have to hit this Bigfoot here to win. Luckily I have an Eater to easily run over the Malicious Bane in battle, so I'm not too worried about that. This is a great example where if you miss the Dingirsu, you could go into or you miss the Bigfoot, you can go Dingirsu AA Zeus once Phantom Rage comes out, but we don't have that option, so we're just going straight for the OTK, and we do hit it, and so that is the end of game 1. So lucky us, we got bailed out by Super Poly. I side expecting to go first, so I put in my summon limits in my TC Booze because I know he's going to try to make me go first. So I do open a summon limit and I open a possible rank 8. So of course I'm going to go Castle Summon Hextrude. Now I'm trying to hit this Thunderbird here. I got a 1 in 3 chance, and if I do, I can back my summon limit up with a Hope Harbinger Draglubian play. That's really strong because then usually decks can't out that because they need to out the summon limit with like a spell card, and as long as I can stop that from happening, I should be good. However, he does hit my Thunderbird, then Lightning Storms away in my back row, so this is not looking good. Luckily, he bricks, so then I draw a Bigfoot. I'm like, well, I might as well activate it. See what he discards here, and he discards the Hextrude, and I'm like, wow, that's pretty good for us. We draw an Eater, which is a great top deck. I go into Lancelot to try to push this OTK through because I just need to get the Eater and Gren going. So I'm actually able to do this. My thought was if he had like his back row plus a hand trap, I would at least still have a negate for the next turn, and he doesn't have anything because he bricked. So we actually are able to take round 1 with a little bit of luck. A little bit unlucky in the second game, but no worries. We didn't open Super Poly or Nibiru, so unfortunately that happens sometimes. Actually, I don't think I opened Nibiru very much or Dimension Shifter very much this tournament, but still did pretty well. So anyway, I'll see you guys in the next duel. Alright, so here is round 2. We lose rock, paper, scissors. I don't know if you guys could see that there. And my opponent knows what I'm playing. Good friend of mine. Makes me go first. But that's okay. Sometimes you have to go first. It's not a big deal. I start off with the Bigfoot, just trying to establish a rank 8 here. The Draglubian is usually what you're aiming for. Blind going first. And he rolls, and it's the Bigfoot. So I'm like, well, I got to go for it. I'm going first. I have to try here. because I know he's playing Dragon Maze, I think I remember in this matchup, and so I tried to go for another, I'm just hoping anything at this point because, I think if I can make rank 8, it's pretty lucky. I actually am able to top deck a Glyph to go into the castle. That's a big hit right there. Boom, castle hits, boom, Hextrude hits, and we are able to get a rank 8 out. Okay. So my friend draws, he activates Nadir Servant, I have to negate that. He normal summons the Dragon Maid, sets 2, and passes. I know he's probably playing the Dragon Maid trap. The standby phase Imperial Order is pretty annoying. Doesn't negate the banish 10 from the castle though, just to know maintenance costs cannot be negated. However, I actually have a Hextrude in my hand, I can just normal summon it. He's like, oh, can I bounce the Draglubian? I'm like, no. Can I bounce the Hextrude? Yes. If he bounces the Hope Harbinger, I can just resummon it, so he just scoops there. And then game 2, of course, is going to make me go first again, but I totally brick, so I just pass. But luckily, my opponent bricks too. I decided, you know what? I have the 16 Eater Gren combo, so if you banish 15 from your extra deck plus 1 in your hand, and your opponent has no monsters, that's actually exactly lethal. That's 1600 and 5400. My opponent has nothing, so I'm able to win. My lesson to you guys on playing Gren Maju is if you're on the fence about going for an OTK, go for it. That's my general rule of thumb when I play Gren Maju. If it's close, go for it. So I went for it here, got lucky, and I'll see you guys in the next game. So here we are in the final round. I lose the rock, paper, scissors again. My opponent knows what I'm playing, makes me go first again. So we'll see how we are able to deal with it. Luckily, again, the castle version has a pretty good going first with Golden Castle. I start off with the Desires because why not? I don't want to hit that with any of the Thunderbirds, so we're going to see what we get off the Desires here. Glyph Super Poly, very good draw, so we're going to grab the Golden Castle from our extra deck. Now, we don't want to discard this Golden Castle, so we're going to activate it first. Grab a Hextrude. Now we're going to go for the 3 and 5 chance that the Thunderbird hits. So we'll see what happens here, and it does hit. So, boom, grab that out, overlay for a Draglubian, grab the Hope Harbinger, set 1, pass. Now, I sort of troll here. I have a Phantasme, and I don't summon it because I think my girlfriend was talking to me, so I wasn't really paying attention. I don't really want to negate the invocation because I have a Super Poly, and I would rather negate like the Nadir Servant. So invocations, I don't really care. I was actually hoping he would use a second invocation because I wanted to be able to summon the Invoked Elysium, but apparently he didn't have a target. He actually said he sides the Fire Fusion for some reason, so that happened. He goes for Fleur de Lis. I'm going to Super Poly here because I don't want my effect negated, so that way I can negate any sort of Nadir Servant if he activates it. I activate my Mud Dragon in the draw phase. I believe I called Light here to prevent, or I believe I actually called, I don't remember what I called, but it doesn't really matter. He can't target any of my monsters, basically. So then I reveal the Thunderbird and discard it. I want to hit the back row, so that's actually why I revealed it, because that's why I said, because I wanted to hit it. I go Reborn my Hextrude. He actually makes the mistake of negating the, not negating Hextrude's effect, I believe. And he should have, because now Hextrude actually boosts a monster by 400 to make it just over game, because I have 2 3000s and a 1900 plus 400. So they got a little lucky there. I'm not quite sure what happened. He probably should have negated a Hextrude effect in order to stay in the game. Game 2, I know he's going to make me go first again. We do open the Super Poly, so we just said it, but he opens Lightning Storm, and he has Alistair again. So now I'm in trouble, because now if he has an Ecclesia, I've actually just lost the game, because that's actually, I think, 8500 damage, or it's enough damage, basically, to win the game. So he, of course, does the whole invoked thing, and then Nadir Servants for a Ecclesia, and I know at this point if he searches Fleur de Lis, I'm kind of screwed. I know he's playing the Shadows now, so I guess that's good to know, but he goes for this effect to search Fleur de Lis. So Fleur de Lis is 3k and 2k, and then plus 25 is 75, but then plus 1000 from Alistair, that's 85, so that's game, so I scoop it up. Game 3, at least I get to go second here. So let's take a look at my opening hand here. Another Super Poly. I've drawn a lot of Super Polys these games, and I got a heavy Harpy's Feather Duster. Pretty good hand, actually. Got a Triple Tax's Talent, which is pretty good against this deck. I brought it in from the side deck. So here he goes into his thing, Invocation, into the Mechaba, you know, the drill, right? The drill with this deck. Grabs his thing back, but luckily no Dogmatica. Now I know he has actually a second Alistair, so now that worries me a little bit, but as long as there's no Dogmatica, I'm feeling decent about this. I Heavy Storm, or Harpy's Feather Duster here, just to clear out the back row. He negates my castle, so that I'm able to triple attack the talents, but I felt like I had to draw because I have nothing. And so I was like, dang, that sucks. He goes Alistair for another invocation, so yeah, that's why he didn't really mind discarding his invocation, because he had another Alistair. He brings it back, of course, and now I'm like, okay, well, he's got the light and the fire. Here comes the Nadir Servant. He does want to pop my back row, and I'm sort of forced here to activate the Super Poly and summon out the Elysium. So Elysium coming in clutch here, but then he can still summon Ecclesia, and Ecclesia is going to search the trap. Okay, so now I have to be careful about what monsters I put on my field. I don't want to put the Gizmek on my field, so I actually attack. There is a world where I should have just left this in defense, because this actually doesn't destroy the Ecclesia by battle. I set something in pass, it's another Super Poly, so he grabs an invocation. Now, he activates invocation. I want to chain this here, because I want to empty my field, and so that's why I did it. So I tried to get some value out of it, but he still had another Alistair in his hand, so he could still summon the Mechaba. But not the biggest worry. I want to save my Gizmek here. Plus, I make Lightning Storm live. He actually sets a card, which is great for me. I'm able to Lightning Storm him, and then I'm trying to Gizmek in the main phase. If he negates it, I have some plays with triple tactics. But he decides not to negate it, so I just pass. This actually gives me a viable Super Poly target on his turn anyway, so I'm actually okay with just passing here because I can summon Predaplant Dragostapelia. But he decides to go for Phoenix and tries to hit my card, but I'm actually able to Super Poly that and his Mechaba for my Dragostapelia. He summons the Invoked Fusion, but luckily Dragostapelia can negate activated effects, so won't be able to pop my Dragostapelia, his Invoked Agadius or whatever. So he attacks with his Alistair. He has no more targets, so the Alistair is sort of useless. Does some damage to me, and I take 322, I believe, or 19, so 2200 total. I should not have summoned Gizmek in the end phase here. I should have just waited, Lightning Stormed, and popped all his monsters. This was a mistake because now I'm actually relying on this Bigfoot to win because I didn't realize that Invoked Aguarides or whatever the fusion he has, it actually pops every time, pops once if I special a monster. So I special and then he just pops my Gizmek. Luckily, I drew Castle, so I'm actually able to just pop his card and OTK with the Numeron Dragon, but that was a mistake by me, so don't make the same mistake, guys. That thing pops if you special a monster, but luckily I was still able to win the duel, but not really happy with myself there because I made some mistakes, but you know, I gotta show them to you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the duel, and I will see you guys in the next video.